most important things to consider when building a website is, well, first of all, you need to know what are you building it for. We've worked with clients that want all the bells and whistles and they have unlimited budgets to do it. And at the end of the day, it's like, you're really going to actually use all these features. In a lot of cases, they don't. But as far as purpose, you need to know what it's doing, first of all. You got to know who your target audience is and who it needs to reach. But you need to build it in a way where, is it selling something? Is it more informational? Is it more educational? There's different expectations in some of those things. So looking at, first of all, what the site needs to accomplish. Based on what it needs to accomplish, finding the right format to convey that message. Some other things to consider when building a website are what features they have. If it needs to sell something, there's a whole different set of parameters that you need to look at. You need to look at site security. You need to look at merchant account and gateway setup. Usually the best place to start with that might be a bank that you're familiar with, seeing if they have some of those services in-house. A lot of times if you take credit card in your place of business through a bank that you do business with, oftentimes they're able to add on and allow your website to tap into some of those same services at a discount because you're kind of bundling it and putting it together. Another thing to think about is privacy. Privacy is extremely important. So if you're a doctor, a chiropractor, a plastic surgeon, when people are contacting on the website, it's entirely possible that they pass along information that might be considered personal or medical history. So you need to think about HIPAA compliancy. There are services outside, third-party vendors that will do that in a secure environment. So ultimately, the things to think about when you're building a website: what is it doing, who you're trying to reach, miscellaneous things like SSL, e-commerce driven features. First of all, we as designers have more than likely worked with product, service, and organization, something similar to what you're looking at having, or what you do. We have experience working with places like that. A lot of times we can point out some of the things that you may not be aware of, things like HIPAA compliancy, things like e-commerce associated elements, and we're able to help walk you through that in a way that saves you time. We find a lot of times that obviously doing it yourself, you're going to save money, but that's not always the case. You got to think about the time that it takes you away from what you're actually doing. Takes you away from your job. You're not able to focus on your job. If you're not making money, it's costing you money. So in a lot of cases, we are in some ways saving time and money and getting it right the first time. And the other thing you got to think about too is, if you build something that isn't 100% what it should be, what does that say about your business? So if you, in your mind, think that you've saved money, but as a result, what you've put out online actually turns people away or doesn't give the right message, you end up losing business as a result. The other thing that a web company or an agency like ours can help do is point you in the right direction on SEO, because that's vitally important. Making sure that everything's properly set up on the website. Things like alt tags, title tags, H tags, making sure everything's set up, page information, titles, metadata, things of that nature. That a company like ours can work with somebody to help strengthen who they're going after, to tell a story. So the search engines pick that up a little bit easier. Probably two-pronged, but it's know your business and know your competition. If you don't know who you're competing with, there's a good chance that you don't know a whole lot about your business. You have to know who you're going to be competing with, who you're bidding against, what they do well, what they don't do well. You can learn a lot about improving your own internal structure by seeing what other people do. I think that learning about that gives you a leg up, which tells you more about your business. And on that, it's knowing who you are, having your own brand voice. What makes you different? What sets you apart from everybody else? Is it your attention to detail? Is it your speed? Is it your efficiency? Once you know those things, you're able to separate yourself from the competition and drive that home in a way that your consumers see as a value or something that they would much rather purchase than going with somebody else. So know your competition and know your own business.